Hey everybody out there, this is Seto with my buddy Adam today. You probably know him from a lot of different deck profiles that I've done over the years. He's going to be profiling you his, what type of Lightsworn deck is this? You want to explain to everybody?
Twilightsworn.
Twilightsworn. So without further ado, I'm going to let Adam take over. I hope you guys all enjoy.
So, the story behind the deck is like, last year at Nationals, my friend sold me an Italian Ultimate Rare Dark Arm Dragon. And after Nationals, I literally wanted to build a deck specifically to summon that exact Dark Arm Dragon all the time. And at first, Chaos Dragons was the answer because it summons Dark Arm Dragon, but it was really bad. And then I was like, oh, I'll put the Lightsworns in there, but it was still really bad. And then I was like, oh, the Twilightsworns are dark. That works with the Chaos Dragons, and I put those in, and it was better. And then slowly the Chaos Dragons faded out, and now there's none of them in here anymore. And then Dark Dragon himself came out for competitive play. It's fine for local, it's actually really good, and very consistent. And then I just kind of like, I fell in love with Lightsworn in general. And I always hated the 60 card lists, because they're bricky and they're gimmicky, and they don't play like the Lightsworn part. They just kind of play like a couple Lightsworn cards and call it a Lightsworn deck, which is not what I'm about. But the Lightsworn cards are really strong, and even though they're all based off of a normal summon, they have a lot of this ability to open up a board, break a board, and do a lot of lethal damage off of nothing. So this is what I've been working on for a long time, and it never has gone above 43 cards, so it's always been a 40-ish card Lightsworn, and it's really good. It's a lot of combos. 3 Raiden, that's your best starter. 3 Lumina. This is actually Lumina's deck. If like I could describe it as any specific Lightsworn monster gets the most attention, it's Lumina. That's why we play so many, and we play 2 of the dark ones. You can take an empty field with 1 Lumina, and you can turn it into, well, before it got hit, you can turn it into Triple Firewall Dragon with Warlord. Yeah, like you can do a lot of really silly shit with it. But then nowadays you can do like nightmare stuff. So for those who don't know what Dark Lumina does, she can banish a Lightsworn from hand or grave, and then summon a Lightsworn from the banished, and she does not count the level or the rank. So she can be anything. She can summon Curious. Yeah, it's really strong. And then if another, all the Twilightsworns have the same effect, where if another Lightsworn activates, then they chain at the resolution, where they mandatory mill a certain number of cards. The girls mill 3 and the boys mill 2. So there's a lot of convenient times where you can force yourself to, like, let's say you're playing with Snows and all that, and then you run out of cards. You can use the Twilightsworns to like activate Minerva, activate Lumina, activate Jane, and then mill like 8 cards, and then you have another live Snow. It's really silly. There's a lot of like dumb stuff you can do just by having a bunch of Lightsworns in the field off of doing nothing. Then 3 Wolf, because Wolf's really strong in general, and you don't want to like, I mean, you don't want to print with it obviously, but like, unfortunately, drawing Wolf is the combo, so you need to start with that's the best combo in the whole deck is to draw Triple Wolf. I used to play Felice, and sometimes Felice comes back in, but I feel like if I'm gonna play Felice, I'm gonna play 3 and 3, just so that Minerva is as live as possible.
So that's why you don't run Felice. Right?
I don't run Felice just because I want it more consistent without drawing this, basically. Gotcha. And I want to plus off this. And what's cool is like this is a combo piece. You can send this with Curious, and then he summons, and you can do other silly stuff. But I'll show you a combo at the end that I do pretty much every game. Then I'm playing 1 Lila. This depends on the format. Either Lila is at 1 in the deck, or Dark Lumina is at 3. Are pretty much the only 2 differences depending on the format. So if there's any format that involves back row, Lila's at 1. And the Twilight Lila can chain to effects, but her downside is that she has to chain to something. She can't just activate, even though she's during the player's turn, and she can only hit face ups. And Dark Lila is also once per turn, with Light Lila's not. It's once per card. So you can summon, like if you have like the Lumina combo, which you do a lot, you can summon Lila, and then put in defense, kill something, link away, and then Lumina summon her back, and then do it again. And you can pop off, I popped off 5 back row, with just a bunch of Luminas in this, and then Snow and stuff like that. It's so she's really strong. And then the last Lightsworn I play is 1 Dark Jane, which is weird because Jane doesn't really do anything, but the effect comes up a lot. So you can banish a Lightsworn from hand to grave, and then target any monster on the field, like on either side. And the monster that you targeted loses attack points times 300 for the level of the monster you banished. But the main reason that Jane's in here is that it's the only Twilightsworn that can trigger itself for nothing. So like with Lumina, with Dark Lumina at least, you have to have a Lightsworn previously banished already, kind of like Zombie Master, how you have to discard a zombie if there's a zombie already there, but then you can use that target, you also discard it for cost, which is what's strong about it, but you have to have one already banished. Jane can banish without any prerequisite, and then it's level 4, and it's pretty big, it's 18, so it's nothing to scoff at. So Jane's proved to be really good, and the effect comes up a lot more than you think it would. Just getting over silly stuff like with True Draco. Like True Draco is kind of like a hard-ish matchup depending on the hand, but you can just instantly out any of the little True Dracos as an example. It comes up in general, and then it sets up Lumina, which is what's important. So the deck, like, it's kind of like, I don't want to call it a tempo deck, but as the turns go on, it's harder for the opponent to win because you get more and more and more and more and more advantage.
I see how it could be interpreted as a tempo deck for that reason.
Like a really fast one, but that's all the Lightsworn. So we have quite a lot of Lightsworns. Minerva's really live in this deck, which is the other inspiration. Is that Minerva's a card I always loved, and I wanted to get a prize card, but I couldn't get high enough in the standings, unfortunately. But and I don't have $1,000 to drop. But Minerva's really cool, and being able to draw multiple cards off of Minerva and pop multiple cards off Minerva scares your opponent more than just milling 3 cards in general, which I think is really cool. And then Free Armageddon Knight to send the boy, and then we play my favorite engine in the game right now. There's a card that's really strong.
What was that engine again? I don't think.
Oh, it's Dark Worm.
Just the Dark Worm engine?
Yeah, the Dark Worm engine. Dark Worm is like my favorite engine in the game. I play it in like everything with the Struda.
Makes sense.
But then Snow is amazing.
You don't like the supers you told me about.
The supers are ugly. The commons look better. And then Giant Rex. These are kind of I kind of count these as the same card because anytime this comes out, this comes out. And then they all make Minerva or Lynx. Spells are pretty easy. 3 of this, 3 of this.
Yep, beautiful.
3 of that, 3 of that. 1 Rhoda, 1 Foolish, 1 Muster Reborn, and 1 anti-spell because it's searchable.
Because it's broken.
How's it searchable again?
By Nightmare Griffin.
Oh, yeah.
So, for the extra deck, 2 Minerva, I always want to drop it down to 1, but it never makes sense because I always want to make a second one later in the games. And then this is how we get our engine started. This card's really strong. And to go with that, this Synchro Monster that makes it. And then Nightmare Griffin is how we search Anti-Spell. Borlo Dragon's really good. Curious is really, really good. Nightmare Unicorn, this was a Saryuja, but Saryuja never comes up. You never.
So you went for the Unicorn.
This just makes more sense because I want to like clear your board and then kill you.
Gotcha.
Proxy Dragon, Underclock for Link 2s, Griffin, not Griffin, sorry, Goblin, Greatfly, and Link Spider. This is the Tomahawk engine. This is how you
Greatfly, yeah, I've seen people
use that.
that,
If you make Tomahawk with these cards, you can make Curious. And then depending on the cards in your hand, you can normal summon again to get more benefit. And then for Synchros, Black Rose, and then the one Michael. Michael comes up a lot, and because Dark Lumina can resummon him, it's really strong. So you can summon Michael, and then banish something, attack, blah blah. Your opponent outs the board, and then like you top deck Dark Lumina, or you have a way to summon Dark Lumina. You can literally just put it back and then do it again, and it makes your opponent really mad. And you can do lethal damage off of nothing. And for the I was going to show you a combo real quick.
Right ahead, man.
It's a 2-card combo where you can end on a minimum Nightmare Griffin and Anti-Spell set. Minimum. But because we're playing Lightsworn, depending on what you're playing, it gets better. So all you do is you Dragon Shrine, and that sends this. And then you can
You flip the cards around so they can see.
Yeah, sorry.
You're fine, man.
Also, I'm rushing ahead of myself. This is the other card. That's the 2-card combo.
So that's the 2-card combo?
That's the 2-card
So Armageddon and Dragon Shrine.
Yeah, so Dragon Shrine sends this first.
Yep.
And then you summon this. That gets your 0. After this. Then you normal summon this. That sends the Struda. Destrudo summons himself, Synchros, and that makes Odd Eyes Meteorverse Dragon, which summons this, and that summons Tomahawk. And then, like I said, you can do Tomahawk makes all the curious stuff. We're actually running out of time for the battery,
Okay.
but basically.